Oh, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess, and you don't want me getting in that van because you want my free candy. But do me a favor and hit that like button, or Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on the Sega Dreamcast will never be released. And let's take a look at the Vosteed Top Liner Lock Raccoon. First try. Nice. So let's take a look at what we're holding. And first things first, and most importantly, the pocket clip is tip up, which is the Lord's Carry. We have got the red and white snowflake pattern on the G10. The pocket clip is reversible. We got a button lock, and we have got thumb studs. So let's hit the button on this one. And we have got 3.25 inches of 14C 28N steel. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we took a look at this before I carried it. I learned something. These things are serialized. They have individual serial numbers. And the guy that got number 69, nice, asked me which one I had. And I promise you, I would have been profoundly jealous had I not gotten, let's see if it'll focus, serial number 013. I got number 13. So, in my book, 13 is every bit as good as 69. Nice. So, it's a low serial number, and it's a good serial number, and now I almost feel bad about carrying it and not babying it, because it did get dropped, it is used, and the grunge from my keys that winds up on these things, oh boy howdy, did it stain up the white G10. It's probably not going to show up on camera too well, there's still a lot of faint marks on it, but man, they dumped tons and tons of grunge on this white G10, oh my god. I want that to stop happening, but I don't have another pocket available to, say, throw keys in or whatever's doing this. It is driving me up the wall. Oh, man. Like an Irish steering wheel on my crotch. It's driving me nuts. So, I predicted this was going to be a good carry. I predicted it was going to be a fantastic week. And yes, it was fantastic. So I sat there and I centrifugal opened it about 1,000,000 times when I was walking around. The button lock on here, with it being a top liner button lock instead of your standard button lock, it treats me a lot better on closing it. It doesn't bounce open nearly as bad. It still does a little bit because, I don't have the most finesse-laden touch with this. I tend to brute force it closed a little bit, and it does come back to bite me when I close this thing sometimes. But it's very, very, very forgiving. So I can't argue there. Now, having it in the pocket, she is a bit lengthy, so it does make it a little bit harder to get stuff out of my pocket around it, but it's not really so much worse than other knives are. This is in the pocket with a wad of keys, bottle of e-liquid, disposable mod for stealthing in the back room at work. There's a lot of stuff in that pocket, so there's only so much you can do to make it easy to get stuff out of that mess around a knife in the pocket. The factory edge, dear God, the factory edge is nice. So doing the plastic wrap on the pallets, there was a lot of times where there were slack areas that I tried this out on because if there's no tension on it, it gets really, really hard to cut. This did a very good job on it. Most of those cuts, it was like cutting through water. It was so nice. I fed it a few pieces of cardboard. It did slice through them. It did a little bit of resistance, but nothing to write home about. A little bit of push on that cut. Let's get some paper out. I didn't do any prep work and bring this over here before I started. I never do prep work. Oh man, I look like an amateur. So it's still doing pretty fine. It wasn't the craziest factory edge to start off with, but it was quite good. I think it was in the 160s. I want to say 160s. I don't know. Go back and watch the first video if you want the exact number. But let's see where it's at today. And as always, this is the tester that was provided by you guys through the super chat, the channel memberships, and what have you. Always going to be grateful for that. Thank you so much for it. This makes things so much nicer on the channel. It's nice to have tools. Alrighty. 203. So it's still better than a lot of factory edges we've been getting. Let's test it a little farther back where it hasn't been cut with as much. The heel of the blade is a good way to take a look at how much edge is remaining and how much hasn't happened to it since you started carrying it. It stays sharper than the belly of the blade. Trying to articulate a complicated thought. 231. So, all right. It's still doing pretty good. It's still doing pretty good. It ain't perfect, but it's still doing pretty good. You know, I didn't go ham on it too hard. Oh, yeah, by the way, look at that. Little gingerbread man on the, right near the plunge line. Like, this thing's got a lot of cool stuff going on. So, you know, it's still doing good. It's still doing good. I can't remember what the initial number was on the factory edge, but that's okay. You know, it's still holding up just fine. And I did not know that these were going to be as popular as they are. I didn't know they were serialized, but, you know, I look on Reddit and I start trawling through there and the handful of knife groups I'm in there, and I see this thing pop up a ton. Like, I saw a ton of these over the last week or so here. So very, very cool. I scored better than I thought I did when I got this thing. You know, I was just looking for a general Christmas knife to have to carry and to play with for the holiday season. You know, we have got our Christmas themed live stream coming up. We are doing this thing in a couple of hours on the live stream. Today is Friday. Tonight's the live stream, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, overall, like, it is very, very, very hard to go wrong with this thing. I really like this. This is probably one of my favorite knives in the collection now. You know, and it still would have been a solid banger, but it's got so many cool extra details. It's limited edition. It's got the touch like the gingerbread man right there. The serial number. Again, let's see if we can get that. You can see it right there, 013. So I am surprised I got such a low serial number on it. I got very, very lucky on that. You know, 13's always been a good number for me. And a lot of that boils down to my younger, wilder days. Some friends of mine always had a crazy Friday the 13th party. I always loved going to those things. Oh, man. The debauchery. Oh, the debauchery. I defiled myself so thoroughly. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to add that I haven't really added or shown you guys here. Fantastic, buttery smooth action, great factory edge. You got a flat grind all the way up to here, very, very small flat up here at the top, where the grind starts. It's just so many good things that I like in one place. You know, if I pick up another Raccoon for, you know, research purposes, I'll probably get another Axis lock just to compare and contrast, and I do love me a good Axis lock. But I'm probably not going to look at another Raccoon for a while because, well, we got this, and I have handled my Raccoon prototype, which has the Axis lock on it. This thing is just fantastic. Like, I just whew. This is like a borderline 10 out of 10 for just general EDC use. The 14C28N's good steel. I'm looking forward to seeing how that handles Cardboard Slayer, especially now that we can track the edge degradation in real time a little better than the last time we did 14C. And I think the last time we did 14C, we didn't really get a good live stream out of it. So looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to coming back and telling y'all how it did on the live stream versus Cardboard Slayer. But I mean, just look at it. This is awesome. This is so cool. But yeah, I mean, just fantastic all the way around. So all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in. I appreciate you so, so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We've got our live streams, regular videos. There's plenty of activities. Comments. I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about this thing. If you've got one, let everybody else know what you think about yours. And all that being said, y'all have a nice day.